my last tip for you guys, this might upset a few people, so I apologize in advance. We don't actually get paid until like the 20th. And this is something that I like wish I understood more about. When I started my YouTube channel in January of 2023, I really just said, let's send it, let's freaking go. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know what the monetization process is. I don't know how to go about starting to get paid. I don't even know what equipment or software to use, but I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and I'll figure the rest out later. So today I wanted to talk about some things that I wish I knew prior to starting a YouTube channel. I'm gonna cover everything from equipment and software that I started with and that I use today. I'm gonna go over the monetization process because I know that I had no idea what to expect with the monetization process. I also wanted to go over brand deals because I know I've had a lot of you guys asking me like how I've gone about getting brand deals, what it even looks like to get a brand deal, do I have to do negotiation, things like that. So I will talk about all of the things related to brand deals, and then finally I wanted to share some of my own personal growth tips. As I'm recording this, I'm over 14,000 YouTube subscribers, you guys, so it is pretty crazy, pretty wild how much I've been able to actually see channel growth, and I just want to share some tips that I have found that have helped me get to this point. Again, I started my channel a little over a year ago, so I've gained almost 15,000 subscribers in a year, which is just absolutely crazy, wild, amazing. I'm so grateful for that. But with all of that being said, I really just want to give you guys all of the information that I have, lay it all out there for you. So let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so first off, let's talk about equipment and software. So I also wanted to break this down into the kind of free things that I used in order to get started with my YouTube channel versus the things that I use today. And I want to bring this up because it's important to note that you do not have to have, you know, the most expensive camera on the market or the most expensive computer or the most expensive software in order to start a YouTube channel. So with that being said, I will let you guys know that I actually started recording on my iPhone. So I was using my iPhone for the first like several months of having my YouTube channel, and honestly, I still use my iPhone to this day on videos where I'm recording like B-roll footage if I'm out traveling or things like that. I don't want to take my huge camera with me. So especially on like travel vlogs, a lot of times I'll just use my phone, or if I'm doing like more day in the lifestyle videos, a lot of times like if I'm out walking the dogs or things like that I'm showing you guys things that I'm doing throughout my day, I'm again not lugging my camera around. So I still use my iPhone to this day. Now that being said, I do have a nice big camera, and I will link all of the equipment that I talk about down in my description box as well. But I am using the Canon EOS 80D. This I am so grateful for because my husband actually had this camera prior to me starting a YouTube channel. He is into photography, but he just doesn't do it very much. So he long time ago had invested in this camera. It's definitely more of a photography camera than a videography camera, but it is obviously much higher quality than my iPhone. So I've been using this basically since a couple months into starting my YouTube channel. Some other equipment that I have that I use, obviously I have a tripod. I set the camera up on that. That is definitely really nice to have. I do have a microphone for my camera just because the audio quality on this particular camera is not the best. I also like to use the microphone for whenever I do like voiceovers and things like that. So that's been super useful as well. I do have an external hard drive, which is just great because these video files are massive, and I was finding that my computer storage was getting clogged up really fast. Another piece of equipment that I do now have is a ring light. As I'm recording this though, I'm not using a ring light. I'm using just the natural daylight and sit by a window and have that natural light on my face. I know living in a sunny state, sunny city, it's a privilege. It's an advantage that I do have, but I also do have a ring light, and it's a big boy. I actually just reinvested in a new ring light because my last one broke. I think I bought this on Black Friday, so it was a little bit cheaper at that time, but I'll link again this down in the description box as well. The ring light's just nice to have on days when it's like gloomier out. If I'm recording a day in my life and it's getting a little late into the evening, it's nice to have some extra lighting. And it does also have an iPhone like holder for it. So again, if I'm using my iPhone to record something or whatever, it's just nice to have as well. So I do have a ring light, but again, the free option is using natural lighting, and that will get you a long ways. And then I think the final like big piece of equipment I would say is you do need a good computer for editing, unless you plan on outsourcing your editing. I just happened to have this MacBook Pro, and with that came iMovie. So I will say that that is just again one thing that I was lucky to just have. So when I did start out editing my videos, I was using iMovie, and I want this to be known because I told myself that I was not going to invest in like expensive, you know, editing software until I proved to myself that I was really serious about doing YouTube full time. And the way that I wanted to prove that to myself was by getting monetized. I told myself once I got monetized, I could start investing in some things for my YouTube channel, and one of those things being editing software. So that was around June that I actually switched over to Final Cut Pro, but that means that I did edit all of my videos on iMovie from January through May. So for like 5 or so months, I was editing on iMovie for free, and then in June I did invest in Final Cut Pro. And then a few other kind of pieces of software that I use often. For thumbnails, I use Canva. There is a free version of Canva, but I do actually use Canva Pro, which is the paid version. Canva Pro is like $15 a month. So again, since I use this like for my thumbnails, which I put out 2 videos per week, I think that it is really worth it. With Canva Pro, you have a lot more like flexibility and like design features, I guess. So I personally really like Canva Pro, but if you're really good at like Photoshop or some of those other tools, like you might not need it. I also do use Canva for things like text that I overlay, or sometimes like animations, like animated text that I put over my screen, things like that. And then I also do use Canva for some other stuff that I do. I personally think that Canva Pro is worth it, but I start out with just like the basic Canva that's free if you're just like dabbling and wanting to get started. And then the final piece of software that I use often, I think this is the last one, is Epidemic Sound, which is what I use for my background royalty-free music. You will want to find some royalty-free music if you're going to go ahead and start a YouTube channel. This should be an obvious one. You don't want to get copyright infringements or anything like that on your channel. So just make sure you're being thoughtful and finding music that is royalty-free that you can use on YouTube. But I think those are all of like the equipment and software that I use primarily. There's a lot of really free things that you can do to get started, but those are the things I'm using now that I also pay for and have upgraded to since starting my channel. All right, so next let's talk about monetization, that whole process, what it looks like, and what actually happens. When I was required to get monetized, if this is still true, was 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours. So again, I started my channel in January of 2023. It took me until about June 1st, actually June 1st was when I got officially monetized, to get monetized. And I will say that I strongly attribute that to the fact that I had a video pop off, go viral, and gain me thousands and thousands of views in the month of May. So I was pretty close to the threshold requirement. I was sitting at around like 950 subscribers. I was pretty close to that one. And then I was kind of a ways off. I was sitting around, I want to say like 2,500 watch hours at that time. Then I had this video pop off, and it really just like pushed me over the threshold, got me not only those last like 50 subscribers that I needed, but also got me to that watch hour requirement. So it is pretty crazy and wild how a video kind of popping off and going viral can really like carry your channel, help you get monetized and those things. But again, that's not exactly what I wanted to talk about. So I wanted to share a little bit about what actually happens when you get monetized. I will say also, I did make a video at that time when I was going through the process of like, this is what's happening now, this is what's happening now. So if you want to watch me like literally go through the monetization process with you guys as it was happening to me, you can watch that video. I will link it up above as well. But basically what kind of happens when you get monetized, first you will get, you know, an email, a notification that you're eligible for monetization. You do have to go turn it on. So there's a few little steps that you have to fill out, and I basically remember thinking like it was like basic stuff. It was like filling out like your tax information, your business name, stuff like that. Obviously if you're an individual sole proprietor, you just kind of put your own information in there, your address and things like that to verify your identity. So you will be considered a 1099 contract employee of Google, which basically means that they are not going to collect any taxes on the money that you earn from them, which means in the following tax year you need to file your taxes as like a 1099 employee of Google. So that's just something to kind of like keep in mind for the future. If you're curious about kind of how the taxes work, you are responsible for paying your taxes separately at year end in April or whatever as a 1099 employee, contracted employee. But basically once you fill out all of that information, it goes in under review. And I remember seeing on the Google AdSense thing that it would take like, I don't know, maybe like a couple of weeks to get approved. And then once it's approved, then you could start earning income. It literally took like 24 to 48 hours. I remember it was very quick. Again, if you go watch that getting monetized video that I made back in like May, June, I tell you exactly how long it took. And I want to say it was like 24 to 48 hours. So it was very quick. And and I started making money the next day. The last kind of thing to note with Google AdSense is every single day it's giving you kind of like an estimate, I will say an estimate of how much money you made the day before, or maybe it was like 2 days before, that type of thing. So it does take until the 10th of the month to finalize how much you actually made in a previous month. But you don't actually get paid until like the 20th. Sometimes I get paid on like the 21st. So I will say one unfortunate thing that you just kind of have to get used to is the fact that your payment from like a month's worth of income is like so far delayed. It's not until like the end of the following month that you actually get paid, get that money in your pocket. So it is worth noting that, yeah, let's say from like January 1st to January 31st, you would get paid on like February 20th, 21st-ish timeframe. As far as turning monetization on for your videos, it is really easy to do in the YouTube Creator Studio. All you have to do is when you upload a video, there's a step that's added when you go through the steps that you normally have to upload your video. Just as you want to turn monetization on, you click yes, and then it asks a few things about your video, making sure that it's, you know, doesn't have like sexual content or violence or things like that that would potentially be, you know, negative for advertisers. You submit that rating and then that's it. And then YouTube will actually automatically place ads at spots within your video that it feels like it has a good kind of break. But you can also manually place ads if you want to put more ads on your video or less ads or whatever. That's basically the monetization process. You just have to hit those requirements and then go through the actual steps, which should only take a couple of days, and you can start making money. You'll start seeing your revenue show up on your YouTube Creator Studio as a daily amount, and then you can also like break it down by video, and then at the end of the month it will finalize, and on the 20th of the following month you'll get paid. So one really cool thing in my opinion about being a YouTuber is there's actually multiple ways to make money, get paid. Obviously we just talked about monetization and getting paid through YouTube ad revenue. So again, those are just ads that run on your video and you get paid for, you know, putting out content, sitting back and watching the views roll in. So that's really awesome. I love that about YouTube. It's very passive from the YouTube AdSense revenue perspective. But again, there are multiple ways to make money leveraging your YouTube channel. And so I'm going to talk about a big one that I've gotten a lot of questions about, which is brand deals. First things first, what even is a brand deal? Basically, you guys have seen me post videos like this all the time where I'm going through a day in my life or I'm talking about, you know, different things that I'm doing or whatever. And then all of a sudden I'm like, by the way, like if you guys want to check out this product, it's really cool. You should check it out. And here's all about it. Here's how I'm using it. Here's why I think it's awesome, etc. Basically, a brand is essentially paying these YouTubers, myself included, to talk about their product for a minute, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever, within a given YouTube video. So first I will talk about like how to go about getting brand deals. I will say that I think all of the successful brand deals that I've had have been brands reaching out to me. So make sure that your contact information is very clearly stated on your, you know, YouTube video description or your Instagram bio or your YouTube like community page. Just make sure that there is a way for brands to even contact you, because if you want brand deals, you're going to want people to have a way to get in contact with you. Of course, as you grow and scale, you can start working with a like PR partnership company, an influencer partnership company, and they will actually like handle your brand partnerships for you. But being a small YouTuber like me, who's not making, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars from brand deals yet, hopefully one day I can, I'm basically doing it all myself. So of course you can reach out to brands themselves. A lot of companies will actually have like at the bottom of their website a link that says like PR and collaborations or influencers or things like that, and there will be like a contact email for you to reach out to, and you can just email the person at the other end of that email, send them, you know, information about who you are, who your subscribers are, what type of content you make, and basically like share the value that you can provide to them by promoting their product. Also, I would go ahead and create a media kit, because you just want to kind of have all that information available to them in one place. On my media kit, I have a little blurb about me, who I am, and what I like to make content about. I have some brands that I've worked with in the past, and then I have some stats, so things like who majority of my followers are, where they live, are they US based, Canada, whatever, what's their age range, things like that. And then finally I have my rates. And so here is kind of the next thing that is tough about brand deals, is that without having a PR company, PR management company like managing these conversations for you, you really do have to take it all into your own hands and stand up for yourself. You have to negotiate the payment terms, like when are they going to pay you? Are they going to pay you immediately after you post the video? Of course, how much you're getting paid, but you truly as as your own representative, you're responsible for all of these pieces. You're responsible for the negotiation of the posting, you're responsible for the negotiation of the posting timeline, the deliverables. If you're getting anything extra, like any gifted products or getting commissions. I guess the kind of main takeaway is it's definitely a learn as you go. Try and make sure that you get a contract in place though. Try and make sure you're clear on the terms, like what's expected of you and what's expected of them. But brand partnerships can be a really huge part of your income as you start building and scaling a YouTube channel. And this is something that I like wish I understood more about. You should know that like somebody as small as, you know, a couple thousand subscribers can get brand partnerships. I think I got one of my first ones when I only had maybe around 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. I do believe it was like just a gifted collaboration. They just gifted me some product. It wasn't like paid separately, but you can start getting like free products and stuff even if you just have like 1,000 or 2 subscribers. Hopefully that answered a lot of your guys' questions on brand partnerships and brand deals. Please let me know down in the comments if you have more questions on that, how it works and that type of thing. All right, and the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is just some tips, some of my best like honest tips that I have for growing your YouTube channel. I know I personally watched a lot of videos that were talking about like growth tips, growth hack, and there's so many tips out there, and I feel like I've really identified a couple things that truly do help you grow and scale a channel. So I want to share these with you guys today in hopes that these, you know, help you out a little bit and help you take your channel to the next level. And yes, you may have heard some of these before, but I'm talking about them because I think that they're the most like true, important, and significant for growing your channel. So the first one is making trending and relevant content. So with my video that popped off, went viral, was at a time when a lot of people were getting laid off and a lot of people were looking for ways to make extra income. And I made a video on that topic, and I also tied it into my specific experience with getting laid off, how I'm making money, how much money, like specific numbers about how much money you can make from these ideas. And I think that people really connected to the fact that I was like, here's like actual numbers, tangible numbers of like amounts that you could make from these side hustle ideas. Ultimately, the point is that that video was like super relevant and trending and happened to just land with a lot of people. Some different ways that I've also tried to incorporate this on a monthly basis is I like to do monthly reset routine videos where I walk you guys through what I'm doing to reset for the month ahead, and I post these towards the end of a given calendar month. But that's one way that I've tried to incorporate like relevant, trendy content. I've seen a lot of vloggers post like kind of like Christmas vlog series and things like that in like November, December time frame. So just kind of think about things that are like trending and relevant and going on in the world, and hopefully that will help your content like just catch the flywheel, I guess. The second tip I have, and I hate to say this you guys, but it is true, is clickable, clickbaity content, and specifically within your like thumbnails and titles. When it comes to your thumbnails, I think it's so important to have like clear, easy to read text. When I'm scrolling through YouTube or whatever, if there's like teeny tiny text I have to like lean in and squint to read, like I'm not gonna do that. So if the text is like big and clear, I know what the video is about and I'll know if I want to click on it from like the main text. I do incorporate on my own personal thumbnail sometimes like little font, but that's I guess more for people that are wanting to like lean in a little bit closer and see a little bit more about what's on my thumbnail. But typically you will see like big clear text that is like the main concept of my video on my thumbnail. Easy to read, easy to understand, and also just kind of see like what's trending within your niche. Obviously different thumbnail styles might be trending in different niches, so just do a little bit of research and see, you know, what's working in your niche. Same thing with titles. Again, hate to say it, but the reality is that clickable titles will make people click on your video, and then hopefully more and more people click on it and gain you more views, and then hopefully therefore turn into subscribers. So just be strategic about how you're titling your videos and think about ways that you can pique somebody's interest, pique their imagination, pique their curiosity, and get them to click on your video. All right, the next growth tip I have is to work on your searchable content. I will flash up on this screen kind of a quick view of my analytics from the entire year of 2023, and searchable was my #1 way that people found me. So this was again through like my side hustles video. People were searching for that type of content. I will say that if you have a video kind of pop off that is searchable, it's just going to continue to get views. So try and find this balance on your channel, I would say, of not every video needs to be like a searchable topic or searchable content, that type of thing. But I personally do try to incorporate videos that I think are searchable at least like once or twice a month. Does that mean it pops off every time? No, obviously not. But I try to just like use that lens every once in a while of like, what are people searching for and how could this like answer the question for them? This video that I'm recording today is hopefully one of those topics. I'm trying to answer the question of like what it's really like being a YouTuber, what equipment you truly need to start a YouTube channel, what the monetization process looks like, what it looks like to get brand deals, growth tips, growth hacks for YouTube. And hopefully these are all like searchable topics that people are looking for if they really want to understand what it is actually like to have a YouTube channel and grow on YouTube. All right, and my last tip for you guys, this might upset a few people, so I apologize in advance, but the reality is that you kind of need like an enjoyable, likable personality. I feel like I've had a lot of people actually say that they found my channel from my side hustles video and then they ended up sticking around because they really like my personality. They like the sound of my voice. I've gotten that one a few times. People think I have like a calming and relaxing voice. So the reality is you need to have sort of a likable, enjoyable personality. And I'm sorry if that upsets some people, but that is the truth. You do need to have that personality, at least on camera. I will admit, like, I'm kind of an introvert, shyer person in person, but I feel pretty confident on camera, and I feel like I try to let my true personality shine and share with you guys on camera. So just try and be yourself and people will stick around because they actually like you. Well, you guys, I think that is basically it. I really just wanted to talk about some of the things it takes to get started making a YouTube channel, what it's like getting monetized, how long that process takes, some other ways to make money on YouTube like brand deals, and share my own personal growth tips. So let me know if there's anything I didn't cover on this video that you wish that I had, because I really just wanted it to honestly like help you guys out and provide some insight and useful information for you guys. But yeah, I think that's basically it. If you guys enjoy hearing my like YouTube tips, YouTube experience, and all of those things, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment down in the comments box. Let me know what you liked about this video, what you found interesting or useful. It just helps me know what videos you guys like to see from me, and I always love sharing about my YouTube journey and like tips that I have from my experience, because you know, I've been doing it firsthand. I'm still a very small YouTuber, and it's been really fun to kind of just like see my channel grow and flourish over this last year. So that's basically it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch up with you next time.